Here we are in video 2 of working with our value scales that we've created. And again, I just want to run through a few things, right? So here's a pencil drawing. And we can see a wide range of values being expressed here, which gives the piece a lot more depth and realism. Here's another drawing, right? Very, very deep darks here, some mid-tones, very light tones. All these values are going to make it for a very rich and deep drawing. Here's another drawing. This was an illustration I did for a story about mystery writers of mystery fiction, right? So I'm trying to give it a really moody kind of feel, so it's kind of dark everywhere. The floor very, very dark. I'm using these lights and darks to really define things and a great depth, right? So the dark back in here is really pulling this hand and making it come forward, right? And we get that because of these lights and darks that are going on in here. But the only way that works is if we are cognizant of all the midtones to make this come together, okay? So there's some examples. So here's my finished value scale that I've drawn, okay? Once you get this, and you want to get it, like I said, as smooth as you can and as even the transitions as you can. So very, very dark, very light, and then everything in between. One thing that you might even do is make a note to yourself. Like this was drawn with a 2H pencil. So I might even write on here 2H. This was drawn with an HB pencil. So I might write on here HB. This was a 2B, 4B, no, 2B, 3B. This was a 6B, and this was an ebony pencil. So you might actually write them on there so that as you're looking and trying to use your scale, you'll remember exactly what kind of pencil gives you that tone. All right, so now, once I've drawn this, I'm going to take my hole punch, right? And what I'm going to suggest that you do is just go ahead and punch a hole right through the middle of each of these segments that you've colored or toned. Okay, so now I have holes punched through here. What this is going to allow me to do then is to actually lay it on top of a piece of artwork, and I can figure out exactly what value that needs to be. So if I'm just glancing at this and I say, well, I'm looking at this area up here, what value does that need to be? And I can lay this down. Well, it's darker than this one, right? It's lighter than this one. So I can move this around until I say, okay, well, it's about here. And that gives me the value that I'm reaching for. If I look in this area, right? That's the very darkest value. This is too light. This is too light. Too light. And I can move it around until I figure out, okay, this is how dark it has to be. And then I can achieve that. I can take this off to my drawing and I can draw this and get that dark to come through. Now, if I were working with a photograph, right? Like this, and I'm trying to draw this, I can figure out, again, the value. Like, let's say this spot underneath this shelf. Well, it's not as dark as this darkest dark. Right? This is still too light, and I can move this around until I get to the right value. So it looks like it's right about here. This and this are the same darkness. The shelf back in here, right? I can figure out exactly, it's like this darkness. You can see that the value of this is the same as this. So it tells me, as I begin to draw it, that I can figure that out. And I can transfer this and understand, okay, this was my 3B pencil. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be needing to do to get that right value in my drawing. So this little value scale is going to work out really, really handy for us. Now, interestingly, right, we have this color, this pencil graphite value scale, right? But I can do this with any kind of medium that I want. So let's say I'm working with markers. I can make one of these value scales with my markers also. And this is when it's going to be really, really helpful for me. So for instance, if I want to try to get this really super light gray, well, I know, and I've written on here, this is my warm gray 1. This is warm gray 2. All the way up to warm gray 5 up here, and then black. So again, if I have my image, I can move this around until, oh, look, that background here is the exact same color or value as this. So if I'm trying to draw this, that means I need to use the warm gray 5 marker. And this is going to help me speed this thing up and grab the accurate one if I'm trying to draw this apple. Right? I can move this along until the value looks the same, and it'll be almost this black. Right? For this dish rag, move it, warm gray 2. It's the exact same color. So this is going to help us speed this thing up. It'll also make us a lot more aware of the different values that we're trying to achieve within our drawing, and also that we can check and make sure that we are getting the whole range of values, lights and darks, in our drawings, and it's going to make our drawings better. Okay, so real quickly, some ideas on how you can make a super fast value scale here and apply it to your drawings. Okay, so I hope this was helpful, and we'll have more videos soon.